haven't expanded as much in terms of having conversation with these maybe women who have an opinion of like, I'm entitled to to you paying for the date. So once we have those, and I think maybe we'll dive into like, why do they think a certain way, and then why are guys willing to put their necks on the line. But yeah, I think on the guy's side, he's more on the pending side. He's waiting. He's loading. He's waiting for the loading to be complete. But he doesn't determine whether if it was successful until she says so. So the power is all in her hands. And you can say, I feel like you can say maybe like, yes, it was good in terms of, it's like, okay, how do we determine if an interview went well? Is maybe when there was a promise of like, hope to see you again. Then it's like, oh, okay, I picked that up. This, so, but on the dating side, it's like, unless she's more vocal about it. So I guess my question to you would be, do you think that people know what's the purpose of a date, and why do you think it was invented? If it was an invention, why was it created? Why was it put there for human beings to interact with each other? And then I would like you to also dive in do you think, if so, and do you think when is the right time to even like, is there an age or a time, or when someone in time in terms of mentality and because maybe you might be an 18-year-old who's like looking long term, you might be a 25-year-old who's looking short term, and you don't know, you've never been on a date. So now my question is, what is it? What's your thought on that? And do you think people know what they're talking about? And how will the person know that, okay, now this is I'm ready for a date. I'm ready for a date, and this is what I'm expecting of myself and the other person.
Okay. Few questions there, but the first one is, what is a date, or what the purpose,
like
the purpose of it.
What's your opinion? What do you think
Okay.
it was invented?
Right.
It was just created for humans to have that platform to meet.
So for me personally, I think it's very simple. It's a very simple answer for now. I think it doesn't make sense that you are, because you hear of these people that are like, and then we went on the ninth date. It's like, you guys got to number 9. Are you serious, man? So I think the purpose of it is very simple. It's to assess and to evaluate if I'm trying not to make it too one-sided, but obviously to evaluate if the other person is suitable for you. But at the same time, I guess you'll also be trying to, if maybe perhaps you are seeing during the process or like the person is suitable for you, then you'll try and show that you are suitable for them. Or well, you're trying to show that as well. So I think it's this process of like you guys are evaluating each other to see if you want to get in a relationship. I almost use the word exclusivity, but let me not get there, because I might say that in the second part, the other questions. But yeah, just pushing it back a little bit now. Anyway, so yeah, simply I think it's to evaluate each other if you guys are suitable to be together in a relationship. Well, I think that's not what's happening. I think that's what it should be. I don't think that's what's happening. Far from it, actually.
So what's happening?
What's happening is, and we all know, is people are going out for females. That's one. You already mentioned that one. So people are looking for females, but also, I guess with the height of social media right now, it's cool to tell everyone you were at a certain place. Well, and so I also think it's because people want to experience restaurants, which you can do with your mom and dad, and with your friends, right? So I think there's also part of it that has to do with that people just want to go somewhere, just go out, and they want to be seen going out. And there's also this idea of wanting, liking the idea of being pursued. This would be more on the female side of things. I feel like you girls, or the two people that are going to be listening to this are not girls at all. So girls, girls sometimes, which is, I mean, I don't know if it's wrong, but you definitely do want to be wanted. And so sometimes you make that at someone else's expense. That's what's wrong. And then you will not be entirely honest about, I don't really, but I'm trying to be wanted. I'm trying to be wanted. Yeah. I want to be wanted. So yeah, so let's go out. But then it's not for me anyway. Oh well. So yeah, so I think there's an aspect. I think that's what's happening. A lot of it is that I think it's just cool to go out. I think it's I may be wrong, but I definitely feel like that's what's happening. Okay, now moving to when are people ready mindset wise?
Yeah, do you think there's a certain age?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Type of thinking?
Yeah.
Or should everyone do it at any age?
Anyone shouldn't do it at any age. Nope, not at all. Okay, so different people mature at different times. Let's get that out the way. But there's also the general okay, like a vessel. You and I have spoken about in the black community, which we are from. People tend to mature much later. We know that. We tend to mature much later. You can fill in the blank why you think that is. What I think, and I think it's just how we're raised to be babies until like you are financially well, and so you're not given any sort of that's going to be a topic obviously like on its own, so I'm not going to go into that too much. So but yeah, people tend to mature later. Well, and so now here's my strong view. Warning, I think relationships are destined, so like I guess the ultimate relationship in humanity is marriage. I get
like the final step.
Yeah.
Or in the beginning of
yeah.
Two people who I guess who will say they become one.
Yeah.
So now it's like now it's like it's like we're saying it's the final step.
Yeah.
But then we shouldn't be approaching it like a final step, because then we see maybe we should further even explore why people divorce. It's because maybe they viewed it as they thought this is what they wanted. They got the boyfriend and the boyfriend proposed, they got married, and now they got the wedding, and then okay, cool, I got married now. So like, where's the excitement behind what they've been told for many years? So now it's like it's viewed as the end of the journey. So instead of like a beginning of something new, now we explore what comes, what's the next step after marriage now. Is it just like, did we just fantasize about the idea of getting married and the wedding on the women's side? Then on the guy's side, is it I get signally made, some type of ownership of like, I'm with her and she has my babies or stuff. But like, is there more to it than just like marriage itself? Like, we should be looking beyond now. Okay, this journey that has begun of two people where they are are they getting to know each other? Are they trying to maybe achieve something together? Or yeah, I think like I'll just leave it there. Of like where it's like we shouldn't look at it as put a ceiling of like, or in my opinion, I feel like it shouldn't be the end of like, marriage should be what we work towards, of course, in terms of the values that it has. But now we have to like, because it seems that we're having trouble and we think we know based on, you know, maybe parents and grandparents, but from I'll speak from the black community side of things. It's like we honestly don't know, and it seems like also the parents don't know what's the next step after having kids when they're grown up. Now when they have their own lives, so now what's the next step? Because I think you mentioned something about Obama, that now they're trying to figure out a life without their kids because they kind of like their life was around that, and then they lost what they had in the beginning, which they were building before the kids. So now after that, now life after the kids, what's like that gap? What's the next step now? So for me, it's like this, and there has to be an exploration after taking the marriage step. But it's like it's easy now. It's easy to have access to marriage now, so which means it has lost. For me, it has lost its meaning, and because it's so easy now, and anyone can get it, and now people are, you know, getting married to get divorced. So it has lost its purpose, and yeah, I feel like there's a lot that we're going to talk about when we talk about marriage, because I don't want to get into it deeply in terms of like the importance of marriage and families in the black communities, because you have to understand, right now you can see there's a lot of guys we know that grew up in a single parent home. Some are like, it's not their fault that they grew up in single parents home, but some is like a lack of responsibility and wise decision being made, choices being made by their parents. So because they made bad choices, now it's like their children are going to suffer, but now it's made to seem like it's a normal thing. So those are things that I hope we can talk about and explore, of like why have these things become so normal that to a point where now the culture in 2021 now it's like, you know, we have celebrities and stuff who want to have kids and raise them, you know, as single mothers because they have the financial means. It's like, well, it's better to be raised by a single mother who have the, you know, financial means to take care of a child than to, you know, have a 2-parent household, probably even a healthy household, to raise a child in, but they don't have maybe like, you know, middle class wealth. So for me, I think I forgot your question, if there was a question.
Well, there wasn't a question per se. I think you were just commenting on
the ultimate goal.
Yeah. It's like,
but you can go on.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't wanna hop on different things, so I'll just continue like Boma, sort of where you picked off, like on my answer was that I believe, definitely don't believe that a marriage should be just like you, this end all be all idol that we have created, that people have. It's like, oh, when I get married, I'm finally gonna be happy, or something like that. For me, that's just, I can't think of anything more sillier than that, to be honest. I can't. That's very silly. That is very silly, because for the few years that I've been on this earth, I know that any relationship between two people is just going to be flawed. I don't care who it is with. Could be the coolest person with like one of the best characters on earth. Once they are in close contact like that with someone, there's just always going to be some sort of conflict. And so this idea of it being the be all end all of life is like, this is all I've ever wanted in life. I'm not for that.